Hello students, good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about new concept, so that is the random access memory. So in the last video or in the last class we have seen that, or we have started the chapter number 4, memory organization. Okay, so in that memory organization we have seen memory hierarchy diagram, main memory, and also we have completed the characteristics of memory systems. So that are location, performance, physical size, physical characteristics, access rate. So these are the key characteristics of what your memory system. So depends on these, memory will work. Okay. So today's class we will discuss the random access memory. So this is also one of the type of what main memory. So main memory is again divided into what? Two types. First one is the RAM, second one is the ROM. So RAM stands for random access memory and ROM stands for read only memory. So in random access memory, it is the internal memory of the CPU for storing data, program and program result. You have to store the data and program and your program result. Second point, it is a read or write memory. You can read or write the memory which stores the data until the machine is working. Until the machine is working. So as soon as the machine is switch off, data is erased. Means what? Data will be the deleted. So whenever your machine is switch off, the data is totally erased. So that is what your RAM. So that is the random access memory. So next point, we will discuss in a brief or in a detailed way. Access time in RAM is independent of the address. That is each storage location inside the memory is easy to reach as other location and takes the same amount of time. Data in the RAM can be data in the RAM can be accessed randomly, but it is very expensive. RAM is volatile, that is data stored in it is lost when we switch off the computer. Okay, it is a first of all volatile. If there is a power failure, hence a backup uninterruptible power system, that is the UPS, is often used with computers. So you have to use what? UPS. So whenever power is failure. Okay. So RAM is small both in terms of its physical size and in the amount of data it can be hold. First of all, it is a small and also it's a physical size and in the amount of data it can hold. So for example, you can take in a RAM, you can use it in your mobile. Okay, so whenever your RAM capacity is more and more, so uh, your mobile will be operated very nicely and neatly. Okay, so for example, you can take RAM, it may be 1 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM, 3 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 5 GB RAM. So depends on various in the various mobiles, you can observe the different kinds of the RAMs. So whenever your RAMs will be more and more, then the RAMs of that capacity and your that mobile will be in a good operating condition. Means what? Whatever that mobile you are going to use, that mobile operation of that RAM should be in the good capacity. Means what? Above the 3 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. So whatever that amount of data you are getting from that RAM, it will be in the good response. Means what? The whatever that mobile you are going to use, that mobile will be not hanging up. Means if your RAM is good, then your mobile will be operating good. So that purpose you have to use more and more number of, means what, maximum capacity of RAM you have to use. So whenever you are going to use your maximum capacity of the RAM, so then your mobile will be respond very quickly and your mobile performance will be very nice. So if you use less number of RAM, what will happen? So your mobile will be hanging up. Okay, so that is the in general. I have taken one example. You people know about that RAM. Okay, so next we will discuss the block diagram of RAM. So this is the block diagram of RAM. Inside the RAM, you are having what? 2 raised to k n memory. You are having address, data, chip selection, write and out. That is the n bit data of out, and also n bit inputs. Okay. So how you are going to select your memory? Okay. So some people will select 2 GB RAM, 3 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 5 GB RAM. So depends on. So which RAM you want, you will get. So whenever you can collect more number of RAMs, or if you want to buy one mobile, so you will ask what are the features of this mobile. So in features they will tell your RAM capacity. So depends on RAM capacity, you will choose what your mobile. Okay. So next, so this is one of the table. If you want to select your memory operation, so that is a chip selection and write. So 0 in write you are not having, so means what? Don't care condition. Memory operation is what? Nothing, that is the none. So chip selection is 1, write memory is 0, then you have to read the select word. Chip selection is 1 and write memory is 1, you have to select. Memory operation is what? Write select word. So we will discuss in a brief way block diagram of RAM. First point, this block diagram introduces the main interface to RAM. A chip select CS enables or disables the RAM. So whatever that CS you are going to use, it may be enable or it may be disable that RAM. The address specifies the address or location to read from or write to. So whatever address you are going to use, that will specify the address or location to read or write. WR, so that is the write, selects between reading from or writing to the memory. You can read the or writing from the, writing to the memory. To read from the memory, WR should be set to 0 and out will be the n bit value stored at address. To write to the memory, we get write is equal to 1, that is WR is equal to 1. Data is the n bit value to save in memory. It is having an 2 raised to k into n memory. There are k address lines which can specify one of 2 raised to k addresses. Each address contain an n bit word. So each address can contain n bit word. For example, 2 raised to 24 multiplied by 16 RAM contains 2 raised to 24 is equal to 16 M words. Okay, so each 16 bits long. The RAM would read 24 address lines. The total storage capacity is 2 raised to 24 multiplied by 16, that is equal to 2 raised to 28 bits. So this is one of the example I have taken. Okay, so this is the block diagram of what? RAM. Next, RAM types. There are two types of the RAM. First one is the static RAM, so that is the SRAM. Second one is the dynamic RAM, so that is the DRAM. So first we will discuss the static RAM. So first point in static RAM, the word static indicates that the memory retains its contents as long as power is being supplied. So whenever you are going to apply your power or you have to supply your power, what will happen? Your memory will be retains as long as possible. So however, data is lost when the power gets down due to volatile nature. Okay, so second point is what? So whenever your data is lost when the power gets down due to volatile in nature. Next point. So this is the diagram of whatever static RAM. Okay, so this is a simple diagram. So you are using here bit lines, word line, and here B and B bar. So I have not shown here B. Okay, so you have to use that B and B bar lines. So that is the lattice lines vertically you have drawn there. B and B bar, A and B, T1 and T2 are the transistors. Okay, so then you have taken the two transistors T1 and T2, A and B and B bar, and word line and bit lines. So this is the diagrammatic representation. Okay, so as shown in the figure, cell diagram of SRAM, that is the static RAM, a latch is formed by two inverters. You have taken the two inverters here. Okay, you are shown in the parallel way. Connected as shown in the figures, two transistors T1 and T2 are used for connecting the latch with 2-bit lines. So you have to connect the latch for 2-bit lines. So that is what your T1 and T2 transistor. We can observe here T1 and T2 transistor. The purpose of this transistor is to act as a switches. Okay, so the purpose of this transistor is a act as a switches that can be opened or closed under the control of word line. Depends on word line, or under the control of word line you can open or you can close, which is controlled by the address decoder. When the word line is at 0 level, the transistor turn off and the latch remains its information. So whenever your word line is 0, the transistor could be turned off. So these are the transistor turn off, and the latch remains its information. For example, the cell is at state 1. If the logic value at point A is 1 and at point B is 0, this state is retained as long as word line is not activated. So for example, you can take cell is at state 1. If the logic value at point A is 1 and at point B is okay, here logic value at point A is 1 and at point B is 0, this state is retained as long as word line is not activated. So condition you can take A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0. So next, for read operation in your SRAM, the word line is activated by the address word line closes both the transistor switches, that is T1 and T2. So whenever you are going to activate your word line, so that time you can close your both the transistor of that switches, that is T1 and T2. Then the bit values at point A and B can transmit their respective bit lines. The sense or write circuit at the end of the bit line sends the output to the processor. So this is the first read operation. Then we will move on to the for write operation. The address provided to the decoder activates the word line to close both switches. Then the bit value that to be written into the cell is provided through the sense or a write circuit, and the signals in a bit lines are then stored in the cells. So this is the write operation. Next we will discuss the DRAM, dynamic RAM. So this is the diagrammatic representation of what? Dynamic RAM. So RAM what? Bit line and word line and transistor and capacitor. Okay, so capacitor can charge and discharge. Okay, so what is the first point in DRAM? So DRAM stores the binary information in the form of electrical charges, so that apply to the capacitor. Okay, so DRAM stores the binary information in the form of electrical charges that apply to the capacitor. Second point, the stored information on the capacitor tend to lose over a period of time, and thus the capacitor must be periodically recharged to retain their usage. It is made up of some DRAM chips. You have to take one diagram, that is the DRAM memory cell. It is less expensive RAM is DRAM compared to what your static RAM. Due to the use of one transistor and one capacitor in cell as shown in the figure, where C is capacitor and T is the transistor, information is stored in DRAM cell in the form of charge on a capacitor, and this charge needs to be periodically recharged. So you have to periodically recharge that one. For storing the information in this cell, transistor T is turned on and appropriate voltage is applied to the bit line. Appropriate voltage is applied here to apply to the bit line. This causes a known amount of charge is to be stored in the capacitor. Last point of this DRAM. After the transistor is turned off, due to the property of the capacitor, it starts to discharge. So what is the function that capacitor? You can store and you can store also, and you can charge and you can discharge. So hence the information stored in the cell can be read correctly only if it is read before the charge on the capacitor drops below some threshold value. So once after the transistor is turned off, due to the property of the capacitor, it starts to discharge. Hence the information stored in the cell can be read correctly only if it is read before the charge on the capacitor drops below some threshold value. So whatever you are going to set that threshold value should be what? Below that threshold value of your charge on that capacitor drops below the some threshold value. Okay, so once you are going to read, so there are two types. Okay, in static RAM and dynamic RAM, these are the two types of what your RAM. Okay, so you have to use the cells or you have to use the chips. Okay, so in dynamic RAM, you are going to use what your bit line, word line, T and capacitor. So only one transistor and one capacitor are going to use, and bit line and word line. So in static RAM, you are going to use two transistors. So that is T1 and T2. Okay, so you can observe here T1 and T2 transistor A and B and inverters you are going to use, and B and B bar. So you have to activate purpose. You have to use for what? Here T1 and T2 transistor act as a switches. You have to use it here. Word line as well as what? Bit line. Okay. So today's class we will stop here. So in the next class we will start with what your ROM, that is the read only memory. Okay. So I hope you are understanding this concept. It is a theoretical part. Okay, so one by one you have to read this one and you have to understand the concept of these memories. So thank you very much attending the sessions. Thank you once again. I hope you are understanding these sessions. Thank you.